2,000 years ago, the Roman government outlawed all what you call underworld mythology, which is the subconscious mythology. So religion is nothing if it is not going to the subconscious mind and you reactivating the spiritual aspect of your being. So the best way to do that is to give the people the subconscious aspect, wipe out the subconscious aspect and play more on the moral aspect. You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, there was not necessarily the major emphasis. You see what I'm saying? That whole thing based on Maya is actually an esoteric principle. Take, for instance, you got your 47 negative confessions. The 147 or 47, it depends on which one, you know, your 100 is basically 147. The historians from the last 10 years was thinking that the priest was interested in reciting these of the things that they did not do. The esoteric thing was, it was what you call a mantra, a vikar, or what you call the 99 names of Allah or whatever, and the science to it was this. It was almost impossible for you in a physical body not to do 147 things, because a physical body, it's almost impossible for you to do those, not do 147 things. That means you just be dead. The mystery to this is it wasn't that he did not do the 147 different things. It's called negative confessions. It was talking about his soul. His soul is pure and is on the inside of him, and no matter what the physical body did, the soul was pure, and the soul did not do those things, because this is only a house and a prison of the soul. Basic Metaphysics 101. You see, so even though the physical body, there's certain physical things that functions on this thing, on this planet, that it's almost impossible not to do 147 things. But what it was is the Afrocentric scholars was taking the Christian model and looking at ancient science. And they couldn't understand the concept that these people was interested in liberating the soul. These were the most illumined people on the planet. They were called a sage race, which means priest. A priest race is not necessarily interested in the mundane aspect of what you call the Maya, the matrix, the illusion that doesn't exist anyway. He's only interested in the soul aspect. So it was his soul that hadn't done these 47 things, not him himself. But then again, by us taking the 10 commandments, which is 10 of those particular ones based on the Mosaic law that was copied from the 147 negative confessions, we was looking at the same thing as this is what the Egyptians didn't do, just like the Christians say you shouldn't do this. And that concept is a later 2,000-year-old concept.
They had so much negative energy till this slime was building up under the city. And that slime got out of hand, and the next thing you know, it started destroying the city. That slime, my brothers and sisters, is melanin. And that's how this shit works. I'm going to get into this is advanced alchemical studies. The difference between the left-hand path and the right-hand path. So you say, well, that don't coincide. How can you say you be peaceful and all this kind of thing here and all? Because there's two sides. So I hit on some of this the last time, and some people say, oh, that nigga, that crazy. But I'm going to go deeper into some stuff also, too. And we will line this stuff up. I promise you that also, too. That particular stuff that you saw was melanin. And that's how melanin works. Now, in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, no, not the Tibetan Book of the Dead, in the Upanishads, which is one of the ancient texts out of Vedic India, which is the, you got your Rig Veda, as well as you have your Upanishads, you got your Mahabharata. These are all ancient texts from the ancient black Indian before you had your Indo-Europeans coming in, which later on led to your yogis, which is a bunch of con men getting rich off white people. Fuck them. They about as much ascended masters as my 40. Now, you see what I'm saying? Why ain't they helping the Dravidians? Because the Dravidians is the real deal shit. Fuck some old goddamn slick-head bastard coming over here, half white, talking about he a descended master. Now give me the damn real shit. You see what I'm saying? That's like some nigga coming, some white boy out of the ghetto, some white boy out of damn, out of Connecticut going over to doggone England and saying he the original hip hopper. He Tupac. He from the hood. That's like that Native American you see now. They always tend to be white looking.
Caucasian.
And always nice to the cracker. See what I'm saying? With all the feathers on this shit. That's just a cracker with feathers. You know what I'm saying? Now, we will deal with this stuff in a few minutes. Just bear with me. Bear with me. So in the Upanishads, it tells you in the beginning, before all existed, there was death. So that is what you must aspire to. Death. That is the ultimate reality. We'll back this stuff up in a few minutes so you can understand this thing. Death is the light in the other room that's getting ready to get turned on. Let me explain this to you. You got a cycle of life. But as that cycle of life is strong in the beginning, the death cycle lies dormant. As that cycle of life wears down, the death cycle becomes to life. But that, what you call death, is nothing but it was a dormant aspect of our alternative existence of life, and it is now coming alive. But it is against the entire universe and the gods.
Antimatter.
Antimatter and the whole 9 yards. And we're going to get into this particular thing also too in a few minutes. But just bear with me so you can understand some of this stuff. Y'all all right?
Now when they say be fruitful and multiply, that was an esoteric scripture that they got from another people, the Christians. And be fruitful and multiply was not necessarily be fruitful and multiply on the physical earth. It was talking about be fruitful and multiply, which means we need more people to come into their particular consciousness for the next world to come. You know, so what we're talking about is focusing on those particular beings that is awake at this particular time, in the awakened ones, and the awakened ones.